Do you like to travel or have friends or family who fly regularly? If so, you probably have a strong sense that travel changed significantly due to the pandemic and has had some kind of impact on climate change. Through a combination of lockdowns, border closures, and people not wanting to risk catching COVID-19, commercial flights experienced more than 8 million less flights in 2020. You can even see the difference in air traffic before and during the pandemic. More than a year later, commercial flights are still down significantly compared to beforehand, meaning COVID-19 continues to reduce people's likelihood to travel. Now, to determine how fewer flights relates to climate change, let's look at global CO2 emissions. Added CO2 in the atmosphere is the main source driving climate change. The more we add, the more the climate will change. In 2020, we added 2.4 gigatons of CO2 less than in 2019, the largest ever recorded drop in a single year. But what's a gigaton of CO2? 1 gigaton is 1 billion tons, which is roughly 200 million elephants. So that's roughly 480 million fewer elephants worth of CO2 in the atmosphere. However, in the beginning of 2021, we have already seen a huge spike in CO2 emissions, even compared to pre-pandemic levels. That's not good. Some researchers have estimated the pandemic will only have decreased the estimated rise in temperatures by 0.01 degrees, which, while really positive, is tiny compared to the possible 1.5, 2, or even 3-degree increases in global temperatures that we're predicting. Unfortunately, aviation only contributes around 2% of total carbon dioxide emissions. So even if we completely stop flying from now on, we will still be adding far too much CO2 into the atmosphere. And while other forms of transport, such as from cars, trucks, and buses, also saw a slight decrease during the pandemic, the decrease wasn't quite as dramatic as flying and has already surpassed pre-pandemic levels. Overall, this means that while the pandemic did substantially stop people from traveling, the total positive impact it will have on climate change is actually quite small.